here in our year as Democrats. I have to tell you, in 2006 election, many of you will remember I ran in this congressional district, CD2, and came close, but not close enough. Well, I'm Jill Derby, and I'm back, and I say Nevada deserves better. You know, while we Democrats were growing our ranks in Nevada and organizing, Representative Dean Heller was in Washington voting over 90% of the time with the Bush administration.
Right.
He was voting against health care for children.
Yes.
He was voting against affordable prescription drugs for our seniors.
Yes.
He was voting against raising the minimum wage.
Yes.
He was voting against affordable renewable energy. And I could go on, the list goes on. A Bush clone.
Yes.
We don't need that in the future. I want to tell you, there's an institute in Washington called the Drum Major Institute that rates members of Congress according to their support for middle-class legislation. They have given Representative Dean Heller an F. For failing.
Yeah.
Nevada deserves better. Nevada deserves a representative who will look out for our kids, who will look out for our seniors, who will look out for Nevada's middle class, struggling with escalating costs and diminishing returns. I want to tell you something else that's pretty interesting. The Congressional Quarterly annually rates congressmen and women according to their power and influence in Congress. In 2007, they rated Congressman Dean Heller 435th. That's out of 436 because Puerto Rico counts, but they don't get the vote. Nevada deserves better. You know, the 2006 election really represented a mandate for change, particularly about the war in Iraq, but across the board. And what we saw after 2006 was that passion for change that was brought to the polls was stymied over and over by this Bush administration and their Republican rubber stamps, among whom Congressman Dean Heller was one. Heller has stayed close to the president in his stay-the-course policies and been a vote for more of the same. I'm running for Congress because Nevada needs representatives who will heed the will of the people. Heller's been part of the Bush administration's endless effort to stifle and block that mandate for change that we voted for, keeping us on a downward path of more of the same. Nevada deserves better. And it's clear to me that we cannot count on winning the White House alone in 2008 to get this country back on track. We must grow our numbers in the Congress, in the Senate, and in the House to ensure the agenda for real change that this nation so desperately needs. And no intelligent person doubts that the need for real change is there. 81% of the people in this country have said we're on the wrong track, going in the wrong direction.
Right.
And I say, if you want change in Washington, you gotta change the people you send to Washington. Now let me ask you a simple question, one that really transcends partisan politics. It's this: are you satisfied?
No!
Are you satisfied with a costly, ill-advised, unending war?
No!
Are you satisfied with a broken health care system that leaves so many Nevadans out in the cold and others struggling with raising premiums?
No!
Are you satisfied with the way we treat our nation's veterans, whether they be 19 or 90?
No!
Are you satisfied with the rising costs, fuel costs, food costs, and sinking house values?
No!
Are you satisfied with a government that puts the interest of corporate lobbyists ahead of ordinary people?
No!
Well, I'm not satisfied either. And I say it's time to move past the same old Washington politics that doesn't get it about the lives of the folks back home. It's time we had leadership in Washington that puts Nevada's interests ahead of special interests. Congressman Dean Heller has failed to do that, and Nevada deserves better. So you tell me, what should we do about our Congressman Heller who votes against raising the minimum wage? I say give him a vote. What do you say? What should we do about our Congressman who gives tax breaks to the wealthy and votes against health care for kids? I say give him the vote. What do you say? You're supposed to say give him the boot back. Let's get our lines right here, okay? We got 2 more chances. Here we go. What should we do about our congressman who puts corporate welfare of oil companies ahead of Nevada families struggling with gas prices at the pump? I say give him the vote. What do you say?
Give him the vote.
Much better. What should we do about our congressman who puts the profits of drug companies ahead of affordable prescription drugs for Nevada seniors? I say give him the vote. What do you say?
Give him the vote.
So I'll say it again. If you want to change Washington, you got to change the people you send to Washington. So I'm Joe Derby and I'm back, and I'm saying Nevada deserves better. Nevada deserves an advocate in Washington who will work for our children, our seniors, and for Nevada's middle class, and one who will be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. But let me tell you, I'm so optimistic about our future. Even with all that's gone so badly in our country, an endless, costly war that was entered into on false pretenses, an outrageous deficit spending that's gone on, special interest grip on Washington, escalating cost of daily living, faltering economy, the health care crisis, I remain a great optimist, and I'll tell you why. The people are on the move.